Well, we are done with week 6 of the LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. And Nisqy, right before this interview started, told me he was going to be interviewing me. So, what is your first question for me, Nisqy?
Do you like C9?
I do like C9. I think you guys are doing really well. And right now, you have a 4-game lead on everybody else, which is insane to me. I'm actually not sure if there's ever been that much distance between the first place team and the rest of the league. So, I'll start interviewing you. Does it just feel really nice to have that much of a gap between you and everybody else? I know you're not counting the wins anymore, but that's got to look pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I usually don't think about it as much because I do think it's kind of, I won't say useless, but at the end our goal is to win the split. So I think, at least for me, I'm just trying to be as good as I can be and just kind of trying to improve, even though our teams are doing really bad. So I'm just trying to be even better than them, even though we're already better, But I feel like if you start thinking about it and we're like, oh, we're so much better than anyone else, then we'll struggle a bit or we will not improve, and then everyone else is also improving. Yeah. So I feel like, for me at least, I'm just focused on improving, and I don't really care if we win or lose. So.
Well, I want to ask you about that because a long time struggle for first place North American teams has always been there's just not enough competition. How are we going to succeed on the international level because we're just stomping everyone else so much? Do you feel that at all? Is it difficult? Because, none of these games ever feel like they're close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think stage games it's kind of not harder, but I feel like we just play way better on stage than in scrims, for example, because, we just focus way more on stage, I think. But also, I feel like even though we scrim, for example, bottom tier teams, if the games are really bad or if they play really bad, then we just try new comps, or we try to no one dies, we just try to kind of keep it clean and not have fiesta games, or else we just don't get anything from it, right? So yeah, I think we're just making sure that we just improve every day, and I think that's what makes us really good right now too. So.
Do you guys really practice the no one dies versions?
No, that was just
because I love the idea of that, because it's like in video games whenever you have to add extra difficulty. Azale's waving at me because I have to get home to do Hotline League with him. But in video games, when you're on the max level and you can't make it even more difficult, they're like you can play okay, no one dies, or everything is going to hit way harder. I love the idea that you try to find these little challenges to crank up the difficulty for yourself.
Yeah, for example, I think one thing we had is can we get every dragon in the game and then every rift, and then just kind of not take random fights, just make the game really smooth for us. And we did it, I think, a couple of times, and I feel like it's just been going really great for us. So yeah.
That seems like a really great way to focus on certain things like objective control and that kind of thing. So I was glad to hear that you guys are looking into that. What do you think of... I'm actually kind of curious about this. This is a random thing, a kind of a weird question for you, but you guys probably feel pretty confident you can win Spring Split. Normally after Spring Split, there's an event called MSI. And that seems to be the only point of Spring Split. Have you guys talked about this yet?
Yeah. We all want to go to MSI, and we just want to play international teams because we feel like we're good, and as long as we keep improving, and I feel like we did not play any international teams yet, so we don't know actually how good we are, So I think it's just, that's our goal, kind of.
Would it take away from the win if for some reason MSI was canceled or something along those lines?
I think it'd be sad because I feel like kind of testing our limits, or if our gameplay kind of works against world-class teams is really important, I think, especially because the level in NA is just really, really low right now. So yeah, it'd be really sad, but I hope it's not happening. Yeah.
Now, it's just we laugh about it, right? But it's a very interesting thing for me because as time goes on, it feels more likely. We've seen so many things canceled. All right, stepping away from that, I'm kind of curious how much of Cloud9 has felt different since last year, because obviously now you're 6 weeks in, things are different. Obviously, you're stomping out everybody in the game, but from a team perspective, how does it feel different?
I think, for example, our coaching staff and our drafts, everything, we're way more involved than before. We are all on the same page, and then I think, for example, reviews are just way smoother than before. We always have a game plan. We have a lot of steps, and we always follow them no matter what, which really helps me, because before it was if this happens on stage, what are we picking and stuff, and that was kind of random. But I feel like for example, today we're talking about if they ban these champions, what are we picking? And I was like, Cassie is still good. And then, like, all this stuff, I think we're just way more prepared. So I think you can also see them in our drafts where we usually get what we want. And if we don't, then we get something else, which we already prepared before. So I think just way more preparation. And then also just, I don't know, we have a system that works where, for example, everyone kind of gives feedback to each other, like really in a direct way. And then like our VOD review, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes max, so, which makes it really nice, yeah.
Well, what do you think it means? Because it's kind of this interesting thing. C9 split, right? Nisqy stopped playing. 2 of the players stayed with you. 2 of them went to EG. Looking at the standings now, EG has struggled. C9 four games ahead of everybody else. What do you think whenever you see sort of the difference between C9 and the placing that EG has had?
I mean, I usually don't think about it, but I feel like right now it's quite sad, I think, for EG to be that low, because I feel like they should have been a good team, in my opinion. I mean, like, Zanskren is really good, and I thought that he and Josie would have like a kind of really good synergy as he had with me, because in my debut, like last year, I was not great as well, and I feel like it's kind of the same for Jizuke right now, where he has so much, I think, to improve on, but I don't know, for some reason, they're just not really getting better, and it's really sad to see, because, I mean, Dennis is a good friend, and yeah, just sad.
Well, not to end on a sad note, but I got to go do Hotline League. Are you going to be in the chat like normal?
Yeah, I will be in the chat for sure.
What was your take whenever, I think it was last week or the week before, somebody called in and their argument was Nisqy was the least valuable member of the C9 squad. Would you see that stuff on my show at twitch.tv/Travis Gafford, where you might be using your Twitch Prime? What do you think whenever you hear stuff like that?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really care what people say. For example, like I know right now a lot of people are thinking, yo, Nisqy is like down 100 CS every game, or like 150 CS every game, but I think it's just kind of my play style a bit. But for example, today I just farmed every camp, which I can also do, like every other mid does in NA, I feel like people can say whatever they want as long as we win. I'm just happy, so yeah.
A final question for you, because I just remembered. Broxa got Player of the Week. TL suddenly snuck their way into third place. They've sucked so much this split. I don't know how they're third place. Oh, they're tied with a bunch of teams. This is how they did it. But is this like the spooky ghost coming up behind you? Because the specter of Team Liquid has loomed large over C9, I think, for a long time, where it's like, well, they don't have Broxa yet. Okay, well, Broxa just got here. Obviously, they looked really good this weekend. So is that in your mind at all? Do you feel like they're coming up, sneaking up behind you?
I mean, I just hope Doublelift plays again, because I mean, it's just hard to see that he doesn't play, kinda. But I feel like with Tactical, they looked really good, I think. I mean, they didn't look like insane, but I feel like they kind of played another style, in my opinion. And yeah, I think they're getting better, but I don't think they're as good as we are right now. They're on their way for sure, but it's just going to be interesting to see how good they would be at the end of the split, in my opinion, which is going to make it interesting, because if we want to go 8-0, we got to beat them at the end, Yeah. So yeah, and then also I think Brox has been getting better every week. I think he's getting used to his teammates. So yeah, Brox is just really scary when he's good, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a match against them.
So kind of the race. You guys have to stay ahead of them before they catch up to you. That's fun. Anything you want to say to any of the fans?
Thanks for supporting us, as per usual. We've been doing really good. We didn't lose yet at all, and I just hope we can keep going like this,
Well, thank you so much for the interview. I got to rush home. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, listen. I realize I'm not the only person sponsored by Alienware, the only group. Obviously, Riot sponsored and Team Liquid sponsored. And you might be looking at Team Liquid in League of Legends right now and being like, they're sponsored by Alienware? I'm sponsored by Alienware, and I'm having a great split. All right? Everything's been fantastic for me this year. Things are only looking up. And I should be giving you the confidence that maybe some of their other partners aren't giving you, to know that Alienware stuff is great. Literally just, I don't know if I can legally say it makes you a better human being. I guess it's an opinion, right? So it's not a factual statement that I'm making. It's just, you're better if you go to the link in the video description at alienware.com/Travis and use that code Travis10 off to save some money on Alienware stuff. So anyway, I just want to say, things are going good, and it's probably because of Alienware, even if things aren't going great for some of their other partners.